Coach Gene Clemens, I am back once again. I am here with wide receiver Junior Bergen, wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner, all around debonair playboy when you throw on the ball or when you catch the ball in the backfield. I don't know what you people are doing. Junior, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Right off the bat, why do you think people keep kicking you the football?
I don't think they mean to. Earlier in the year it was pretty apparent that I wasn't going to touch the ball a ton back there, but sometimes the ball gets mishit and sometimes they do kind of just kick it to me, but I don't think that's always the case, but I feel like I'm kind of respected back there, so I don't get a ton of balls, but when I do, I try to make the most of it.
I look at it and my theory is pride, right? My theory is
right.
These special teams coaches, especially special teams coordinators, are not wrapped too tight. They all have a little something. Your special team coordinator probably the same way, but they have a pride and an arrogance about what they do. It's why they're so good at their jobs, but they're thinking to themselves, he's not going to be the reason that they beat us. And so I think that's one of the reasons you continue to get kicks. I would not expect to get any kicks in the championship game, because pride goes out the window when it's time to win a national championship, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But what is it about that? Like, how do you think them not kicking it to you or actively trying to keep it away to you could be an advantage for your Griz as you go into this matchup?
Yeah, it's just tough to directional kick, really. NDSU was mishitting it early, and the ball was only like 30 yards, so that's a good return, really, if it's for field position wise. But even on kickoffs, if you don't hit it right, you can end up kicking that thing out of balance and get on the 35. So it's a tough thing to do, but yeah, I guess. I don't
know. so your thought process is, if they don't kick it to you, there's a higher risk that they might do something that puts your team in a great position anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing to do. I don't know. It's just tough to kind of place the ball. But when I'm back there, I'm ready to go. No matter what, I'm hoping I get a kick. And the guys up front are also doing the same thing. That's why we've been able to spring so many.
I think it feels like you and your mates on the punt return team or the kickoff return team are just saying, just give us one.
Yeah.
We get one. Do you have that mentality? All I need is one.
Yeah, I think you kind of gotta have that mentality. I tell those guys before we go out there all the time, like, hey, we might get one here. Like, be ready to go. And those guys have been ready to go all the playoffs.
One other thing that I've noticed about your game that I think people may not have realized earlier in the year that we've seen kind of mature is you play much bigger than your frame. Like, you're not a big dude, per se, pause, but like you play a lot more physical than I think a lot of people gave you credit for at the beginning of the year. And now, I think throughout the playoff run, you've been able to show that physicality in running routes and not being able to get like jammed or knocked off your route, and catching balls and catching it and taking hits and being able to break tackles. Is that something that you've been working towards? Was that purposeful?
Yeah. In the offseason, I made sure to try to get my weight up, lift, eat the right stuff, all that stuff. And I've also kind of been like that for a while. I played running back when I first got to Missoula, so I just kind of just try not to let the first guy tackle me or any of that stuff. I just try to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's and I'm just going hard.
Absolutely. A lot of the games in the playoffs have swung on, either from what you've been able to do as a receiver or as a returner. How much has it been a pleasure to kind of watch the nation take notice of your impact on the game during that time?
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been sweet. We've worked really hard as a team to put ourselves in this situation, and I'm just glad I'm able to go out and just play well for my teammates, and we're, we were able to come out with some wins.
So I'm just full disclosure on the way I break the game down. Like I've looked at this game in my head a bunch of different ways. I in my mind, a shootout doesn't favor you guys.
Yeah,
Like a shootout's not what you're looking for. I don't think a shootout's been what you were looking for all year. You've got the one of the best rushing defenses in the country. They have the best rushing offenses in the country. I think special teams wise, I give you guys the edge on special teams. I think that the ability to stop them from running and the ability to continue to control the game through special teams is your path to victory. Would you say that's probably somewhere accurate like that?
um, yeah. I think we just gotta do what we do best. We gotta go out. We gotta play physical. Gotta try to control the line of scrimmage. That's where games like these are won. Obviously, that's a good team over there. They're not here for no reason. So we got to make sure we're on top of our stuff and just got to take care of business. Really.
So how do you go about these next few days? We're now T-7 days away,
Right.
right? The as a lot of people would say, the hay is in the barn. You're not putting any new stuff in. Everything that's been installed has been installed. Now you're just trying to clean everything up, most likely, make sure that you can go into the game as healthy as possible. How mentally, what do you do over these next 4 or 5 days before you leave to go to Frisco
Right.
to get yourself ready to play this game?
I just gotta take it day by day. Stick to my routine. Do the things I do as if it was a normal week. Obviously, you got to make sure you take care of your body. Staying in the film. Can't watch enough film. So we just got to do all the little things to make sure we're prepared for next Sunday.
What do you think that a victory for the Griz looks like on Sunday?
Um, we just got to go out and play hard. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. We got to just play our brand of football. Stick together. They're gonna make some plays. That's a good team over there. So they're gonna make some plays. We gotta weather the storm, and then once our opportunities for us to make plays, we got to go out and make plays as well.
All right. So three different scenarios. I'll give you: a kickoff return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown, or a short pass where you shake somebody down and take it to the crib. Which one is the one that gets you the most excited?
Um, it just depends. It depends on what the team needs, really. So, like, if we need a big touchdown on offense, then go out and get one on offense. We need one punt return if that's the opportunity that presents itself. Then we got to go get one there. Or same with kickoff return. Whatever one helps us win. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. So in your mind, because I always this is the thing that I try to get my returners to understand is the number one job of a punt returner is to field the ball, like
Right.
regardless, because
Right.
that's where the field position is. What gives you that indicator? Like, what are you looking for out of a coverage team when you're watching film, when you see it live, from a first person view? That lets you know, all right, they do certain things that might give me the opportunity to be able to break one
Yeah.
for a long game.
Yeah. It's in the film for sure, but then a lot of it is just feel as well. You're back there and right off the snap, you can kind of see who's getting held up or where you might be open, and then once you're catching that ball, is your eyes are on the ball. You're not really worried about where those guys are. You got to have a good feel for it, and if they're too close, you fair catch it. But if not, then try to make something out of it.
My biggest thing when I was returning punts was to make the first person miss. Is that the way that you kind of set it off? If I can make this first person miss,
Yeah,
now I've kind of put a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, because the first person is going to take their shot. So you got to make them miss, and then you can get on to getting the return started, whether that's a wall or a middle. Yeah, you just gotta make that first person miss. That's the key to it.
On kickoff returns, how often have you purposely gone the wrong way to start on a kickoff return to set up your blocks better?
Um, I don't know. It just happens. Sometimes you do it not even thinking about it, but it's happened quite a few times, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I've watched quite a few of your games, and I've seen some
Yeah,
returns where I'm like, that's not really where he was supposed to be going to start with. Maybe he knew something, or he thought, hey, if
yeah,
I just take him a couple, I'm fast enough to get back to where the scheme is set up to go.
yeah, and it also depends on the other team's kickoff coverage team. So yeah, there's a lot of things that factor into it. Sometimes you feel like the guy off the edge isn't gonna get there, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into that.
All right. So when you travel down to Frisco, how are you coming? What's your swag gonna look like when you get down there? Are you gonna be low key? I see everybody dressed all types of ways. I see
Right,
cowboy hats. I see,
right.
people coming with the shades. How are you gonna look when you get down there?
Man, I just be chilling. I don't do nothing crazy. I usually wear something crazy on my feet, but other than that, I'm just chill.
Okay, so the feet should be official.
Yeah, I only packed one pair, but yeah, they're legit. I'll tell you that.
Okay, that's so when I
Legit.
when I see you in Frisco, the first thing I'm gonna want to see is what's on the feet.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna see what
If
you're
we're if we're
rocking.
not if we're not in our team shoes, then yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
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 true.
something. Yeah,
That's true. You may be in the team shoes. I'm gonna let you off the hook on that one.
yeah.
Hey, congratulations on getting this far. I know the job's not done. You guys have another game to go. Congratulations though on making it here from where you were in that, beginning
Yeah.
of the year and the first few games of the year to where you are now. I don't think anybody would have suspected that would be the end to the season. But obviously, when you play for the Griz, the expectation is a national championship every year. So you have that to you. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do down there. And I thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me.